We are literally witnessing in real time the collapse of Justin Trudeau. And I'm going to show you exactly what led up to this moment and how it's going to affect our lives in the next 6 to 12 months. Because it all started right here in Toronto. And the catalyst to all this, the St.Pauls by-election that happened earlier this summer. St. Paul's, Toronto was traditionally a liberal fortress. For over 30 years, this place has consistently voted liberal until a couple months ago when a by-election surprised the entire country when they elected Don Stewart. This shook the Liberal Party to its core because, keep in mind, losing any seat in an ultra-progressive Toronto is essentially death for the Liberal Party. Because if Toronto is leaving the Liberals, then who else do they actually have? Even political analysts worldwide realize that the Liberals have no safe seats left in Canada. We even had Liberal ministers saying Trudeau should step down as a result of the by-elections in St. Pauls. But that was just the beginning of the end of Trudeau, because this trend continued. We even had Liberal MP Alexandra Mendez, who just recently came out and said that her constituents literally are voicing to her that Trudeau has to step down and leave. On top of this, after the by-elections at St. Pauls, Liberal MP Wayne Long literally sent an email to the entire Liberal caucus urging Trudeau needs to step down. Even Montreal, another Liberal fortress, has a by-election coming up which Trudeau desperately needs to keep if he wants to stay in power, or at least maintain an image of authority. Leading up to this by-election, we literally saw Liberal staffers stepping down and calling for Trudeau to leave. And yes, you can technically say that these staffers did step down because of the whole Israel-Palestine conflict and Trudeau's stance on it, but in no world where if a leader is strong enough, do his staffers act in such a way, especially in a place like Montreal, which historically they were guaranteed to always win. Feel free to disagree with me on this. Even Jagmeet Singh left Trudeau's coalition earlier this week as a result of that one catalyst moment in the St. Paul's by-election. Jagmeet left the Liberal Party and Trudeau stranded in Parliament. But even Jagmeet doing this has scandals, because Jagmeet won't even call for an election, even though millions of Canadians want it desperately. Why won't he call an election, you might correctly ask? Well, because if he stays in his current position until February, his cushy federal pension will be secured.
Saying he's just blowing smoke. There's nothing more important to these greedy politicians than collecting a pension.
Just think about that for a second. You cannot voice your political opinions in this democracy because a federal politician, a leader of a major Canadian political party, does not want to actually follow through with his constituents' wishes because he wants to maintain his pension. If Jagmeet Singh does not call for an election before 2025, Jagmeet Singh has officially lost all credibility, and the NDP can never say that they are for the working people if their leader acts like that. So just a quick recap on the most important parts as to why Trudeau is officially done. Losing a safe seat in Toronto, having staffers, ministers, and MPs leaving his side and calling him to step down, and having his coalition partner leave the group, rip up the charter between them. Trudeau is almost guaranteed, and I want you to really understand this, Trudeau is almost guaranteed to never be involved in Canadian politics ever again. And it's not because of his bullshit politics. It's not because of his non-stop scandals that we are seeing on a weekly basis. Scandals, mind you, that would have toppled any regime in the past 40, 50 years. And I'm also going to be a little controversial here. The collapse of Trudeau is not even because of his insane immigration policy, which is a whole nother conversation. So the reason why Trudeau is actually completely done has to do with this one all-powerful word. And if you actually understand this word and its implications, you can predict any type of political trend and ideology forever. Economics. Trudeau has doomed himself by destroying Canada's economy. You don't think it's destroyed? Let's take a look at this. Under the past 10 years of Trudeau, Canada is now as unproductive as the state of Alabama. Alabama, Canada, a country with 41 million people. 10% of the world's oil reserves, gold mines that rival its competitors internationally, world-class cities, and an advanced economy. Canada is now as unproductive as Alabama. Instead of helping small businesses, lowering taxes on the most productive Canadians in society, Trudeau chose to do the exact opposite. Now, what does this mean for us? This means that everyone in this country, left, right, doesn't matter, is finally waking up to the fucking fact that politics and economics is king. If you ignore these two, you allow these two to dictate everything in your life. If the entire population in Canada actually gave a fuck about this country's economy, about this country's political state, we wouldn't be in the mess that we are in today. Because with the taxes, with the red tape, with the lack of small businesses, our quality of life is almost guaranteed to go down in the next 10 years as per this TD report. Want to go out and relax? Too bad. Your taxes ate your money. Want to go for a family road trip? Too bad. Liberal MPs like this guy blames you and I for global warming. Want to start a small business in this country to help provide value to the economy and make some more money for you and your loved ones? Too fucking bad. Taxes, red tape, bureaucracy. Once Trudeau steps down, and it is a guaranteed fact that he will either step down or just lose just get destroyed in the next election, the inertia of his policies for the past 10 years will not just disappear the second he leaves. It will take 5 to 10 years minimum of perfect policy making that I pray and hope Pierre can do to begin the trend reversal, to create a more productive Canada. A productive Canada means more money in your pocket, less taxes, more small businesses, diversity in economics, and a better and higher quality of life for you and your family. So what are we going to see in the next 6 to 12 months? We're going to see way more scandals come about as more liberal ministers are wanting to collapse the Trudeau regime. We're going to see a huge number of strikes, just like this strike that is experiencing in our Canada, and just like the strike that we saw at Via Rail, and just like the threatening of a strike that we were seeing from CBSA several months ago. We are also unfortunately going to see some more insane crime reports, just like what happened to this innocent Sikh man. As the economy deteriorates and people start becoming a little crazier, I guarantee we will either see a snap election being called or more by-elections going to either Bloc Québécois or the Conservatives. And after all of this being said, I actually do believe the future does look pretty bright. Because in times of political and economic chaos, there is always opportunities to find value, either value monetarily, spiritually, that's also a very important, valuable side, and politically. Take a look at every major country in the past 100 years that has had extreme political and economic instability. And we can almost compare these with the coming future for Canada. But finding that value, finding the positive in all this negative that we're seeing all around us is a conversation for the next one. Share this video with somebody who still thinks Trudeau is ethical, because apparently 10% of Canada still fucking does.